Okay, in this session, we're going to talk about the updates that were made to Brightspace over the last few months. And some of these things are something that I think you might find interesting that you could use as you're working in your courses. So the first thing I want to start out is we added ReadSpeaker to our Brightspace. So if you go into a course and you go down to, it would be a web page, and you open that web page, there'll be an option at the top to have the information on the screen read to you. So, this is something it could be for you, it could be for your students. It's for everybody. The nice thing about it is that maybe you're working in your kitchen making dinner, or students are, they can hit the play button and they can listen to the page as they're making dinner. So it's great. It's also great for somebody who is maybe using a screen reader. It can help them quickly go in and read the information. The one thing it will not do is it will not read a Word document or a PDF at this time. Okay, so that's the first thing in our updates. Another thing is copying assignments from one course to another. In the past, we had to do a full copy, course, import to just take one assignment you created and move it to another assignment or another course. Now, it has the option that if you go into your course tools and assignments, if you click the chevron next to an assignment, you'll see that there's an option of copy an assignment to another course. So you would go through that and tell it what course you want to copy it into. So it will show you what courses you have. Okay, and you can just select what course you want it to go to and hit next, and you can tell it to copy in. And you'll see it has the option to include the rubric, and if it's in the gradebook, it asks you if you want to include the gradebook in there. So, or to have the column created in the gradebook. So not only will it let you copy it over, it kind of brings other things along with it that are attached to it. Okay, so that's how you can go in and copy from one course to the next for an assignment. So that's a nice, great feature. New Brightspace videos. They have a whole new set of training videos on YouTube, and I will supply you with the link to this so that you can go in and check out some of the new videos. Okay. Another wonderful tool that we have purchased for NCCC is the Creator Plus set of tools. And I'm not going to go over everything that you can do with them. I'll let you see a little bit of it and what it looks like. But if you go into a course and you go in and you create a new page. So if I create a new file, new web page. Okay, at any location where you see this plus sign, you can click on that, and you'll see that there's options to insert an element, insert a practice, which would be like quiz questions, and you can set up layouts. Now, if I go in and do insert element, I just want you to see some of the options that you have. You're going to do an accordion. This is a little bit different than the other accordions that you can do through the templates. The nice thing about this, you can put your cursor anywhere on a page, tell it you want to build an accordion. It lets you tell it how many sections of the accordion that you want. You don't have to worry about coding, and you just can copy and paste your information in or type it in. Okay. It also has the option of expand all, which is not part of the template. That's part of Brightspace. You can do tabs, click and reveal, so that it will give you basically let you have like a pop-up box kind of thing. Call outs. I call out, I'll show you some of these examples, is, if you want something to, when you roll your mouse over it, it will call it out. Timeline, specialized quotes, so that's something that would put a box in, around something, and you can, tell it what color you want the background of the box to be. You can put a symbol at the beginning, like an exclamation point or a question mark or something like that. So that it lets you create a quick, nice style box without having to know how to do code and everything. Flip cards I'm going to show you. The carousel is something like a PowerPoint. And the hotspots will let you go in and set points on an image that will let the students click on it and find out what that is that they're clicking on. So there's a lot of new elements that you can go in and see and use. So I'm going to show you what some of them look like. So I'm going to go back out to my content. Okay, so this one here, I have some flip cards, a call out, and an accordion. So if I open the page, okay, so here is a what do you call it? The call out. Okay, so you can have it, and you can change the color of it. You can have the symbol that I was telling you about. So there's your call out. Down here, these are your flip cards. So you can put text or images, and they can flip them over. And so I did it for my database class, so it tells them what a table is. And I threw an image on it just to make it, otherwise it would just say plain text. Okay, so those are the flip cards. Okay, and then here's the accordions, and I just wanted to show you the difference. This is the new accordion. Really the main thing is you can expand all of them at one time if you want to, or you can click on them to expand them, and you'll see that it has this symbol on the end. This one actually has a symbol in front of it. You can also go in and have these numbered if you want to, okay, in the new one. You didn't have the option in the old accordions in the templates. Okay, so that's another part of the Creator Plus, the special features. Okay, so let me come back out here. Okay, let's go to page elements and questions. So in this one here, I did a fill in the blank question. So as the students are going through at the end, this is just for them to do a self-check. You do not know if they've actually answered the questions. It doesn't go in the grade book. These are just for self-checks. But I created a fill in the blank so that they can go in and actually fill in whether, and then they can check their answers. And it will tell them whether they got it right or whether they got it wrong. Okay? And they can try again if you have a bunch of questions in there. So that's where the questions will pop up, and you can have them on page. So you can have them reading the syllabus and have them, check their understanding. Can you turn in late work, and have it true, false, or something in there. And you can have them answer it and check it and say, oh, no, I don't allow any late work, or yes, I do, but I only allow it up to 4 days or whatever. So it will give them a chance to check their answers, check their knowledge as they're going along as they're reading documents on your pages. Okay, now the other one in here is the hotspot. So when I go into that one, you can load an element on the page. You can give them directions. I just did an image and just went ahead and started throwing the hotspots. And they can go to each hotspot and click on it, and they can learn about that location. Okay, so that's what hotspots are for. So it's a small symbol, but you can change the color. You can see I have different colors on my symbols. You can put the symbol anywhere on the image where you want it. So it might be, again, a great resource for them to use. It's interactive, and we want to keep our students, if they're reading about something, sometimes it helps if they can click on things and make them more interactive. Okay, so let me see here. All right, and then the page layout ones. They have, let me go into this one. So this one I went in and created a 2-column page. I didn't have to do any code. I just had to tell it that that was the layout that I wanted. And it gave me the boxes to fill in the information or copy and paste the information in. So I'm going to go back out. And this one here has 2 equals columns with a triple one below. So I've gone in, I have the 2 columns at the top here, and then I have 3 columns below it. So it has a nice look to it. It's supposed to be ADA compliant, so hopefully the screen readers won't have any problems reading it. But at this point, I know that sometimes we want to have things next to each other, and we don't want to have to worry about code. We don't want to put tables in and not have them ADA compliant, but the layout will let you go in and do that. Okay, so again, that would be like if you go into create a page. In here, I want to add a page. Then I can go to the plus sign and do the layouts. Okay, so you can pick which layout you want. And you can go in and add different ones. So I can add this one here. Basically, it puts a table in there, but it makes it a table as a placeholder that is ADA compliant without having to have a heading on it. And then I can go back and say, okay, I want another layout below that of 3 panels. And it automatically creates it. And you can just copy and paste. This way you don't have to worry about it being compliant. You don't have to worry about putting the code in. It automatically does it. Okay, so I'm going to cancel that. Okay, so those are some of the elements that you can add now using this new Creator Plus. Okay, and in my updates here, I have a link to a website that talks about all of them and gives you information about how to create them, how to create the quizzes, how to create the layouts and everything else. So I would check this out. Okay, use your video with quizzes. In the past, we realized that Yuja wasn't set up to bring in quizzes that we created within videos. So we worked with SUNY and we've got the link added to add the video with quizzes this time. So they had to add a new link for this. So let me go into this course here. I'm going to go into a content area. Now, you have to go in, and I do have instructions on how to create the quiz within the video. So you can have it so it will stop as they're going through the video and have them ask them questions as they go along. And this can be done so that it will save the results, and it can show just the results in Yuja, or you can have the results added to the gradebook in a column. So this one here, you can check for understanding and grade them on it within a video with questions. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a video that a quiz video that I've already created. So what I want to do is I want to go into existing activities and scroll down to the very bottom, and you'll see that there's a Yuja Media chooser for deep link for quizzes. So this is what's going to allow you to grab the quiz, bring it in, and have it show the questions. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Now I have it in the instructions. You have to make sure you publish the quiz to the course before it will let you pull it in properly. So when I go into the media chooser, if I was just pulling in a video, I would just leave it as media, grab the video, and pull it in, and that will grab the video without quiz questions. But I want to go in and look for quizzes. So I'm going to select quizzes, and I have 3 quizzes in here. And you'll see that this one is unpublished. So I don't want to pull this in until I publish it in the course, but I'm going to go in and pull this video in. So I'm going to select this one. It is published to this course, and I'm going to insert it. And when I publish it to the course as a quiz, I tell it that I want to save it to the gradebook if I want to have it that way or not. Okay, so now the video is in here, so you'll see the difference here. So when you go into the quiz on components video, it's telling them that they're taking a quiz as they go along, and it's going to automatically pause as they go through it. Okay, so they just have to exit out of that. And then down here, as they run the, let me go ahead and start the video here. In this video, I'm going to give you a little introduction about Microsoft. Okay, what it's showing you here, and it will show the students, if you allow them to see this, it will show them where it's going to pause, where the questions are. Okay, so, and when it does it, like I can go in and I can fast forward through it, but it will skip over those questions for those students, so they won't get credit for those. So they've got to make sure that they go back and finish watching through it, and when they get into it, let me get closer. As close as I can. Okay. Just a couple of seconds. And then I run it.
as we move forward through the class.
Okay, and you can see the quiz question pops up. They can answer it and they can check to see if they're right or not. You can say, am I right? It confirms, and it tells them whether their answer is right. Okay. And then you just confirm, and then they can hit continue or they can submit it. Let's see. Oh, you can't submit it until you're done with all the quiz questions. So then they hit continue and it goes on to the rest of the video. Okay, so that's part of UJA. You can take any video that you can upload to UJA and you can add quiz questions to it. And you can see that it gives them the option to check their answers as they go along, but it will, when they're all done, they can hit submit and it will submit the quiz. And they have to complete the quiz to get credit for it. Okay, so it's a great way to make sure that they're understanding what they're listening to. They're checking their understanding as they go along, and when they get done, they get credit for watching the video and answering the quiz questions as well. Okay, so that's another tool that we added in. Okay, another great tool that was added was the automatic zero. Okay, for quizzes and assignments after the due date. Okay, so I'm going to go back to, I think it's this course that I have it in. And I want to check grades for a minute. Okay, and you'll see here that I have some with lines underneath them. This means a zero has been entered for a student because they missed the due date. Okay, it automatically adds the zero if I turn this feature on. Now this student, I allowed them to do it after, and now it's showing me that they actually submitted the assignment. This is an assignment, not a quiz. And until I grade it, it's going to still show a zero. Okay, so even after the fact, it's not going to stop them. You know, I can tell whether they can, do the quiz after the due date or not. Okay, so that's what it looks like, and if you point to it, it tells you that the zero has been automatically entered. And you can see this one here isn't showing that because this one was manually entered as a zero. Okay, so to be able to turn this on, when you go into grades, you're going to go to settings, and you have to choose to turn it on. It's totally up to you whether you want to have it or not. Okay, and you need to go to the calculated options and scroll down. Okay, now you'll notice that you still have the treat ungraded items as zero. Okay, and then you have drop ungraded items. Now the default is drop ungraded items. Okay, and this is what we recommend. Okay, but if you turn on treat ungraded items, everything's zero. So if you do a weighted grade book, they won't know how they're doing until they get to the very end of the class. So we don't recommend using this, but you have this new feature here. Automatically apply a grade of 0 to a missing submission once it's overdue. Okay, so you have to set due dates on the assignments and the quizzes for this to automatically put the 0 in. If you turn this on after the due date has already occurred, it will not go back in and add the zeros. Okay, another thing it will not do is it will not add zeros to missed discussions. So those you will still have to go in and add zeros to. But this is a great way to let our students know that they've missed something. If you make it available after the due date, they still could do it, but maybe they're going to lose points or whatever. But you can turn this feature on for your whole course. You have to turn it on for each individual course. It's not automatically on. Mine was on, so that's why my checkbox was checked. Okay, and then when you're done, you hit save. Okay, I'm going to hit close for a minute, and I want to show you again where I went to do that. So when I went into grades, I went into settings and the calculation options, scroll down to the bottom, and you can turn this on in your course and save it and then close it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and save it. Okay, and once it hits the due date, it will add those zeros in the grade book if they haven't submitted the work. Okay, so that's another great feature to turn on. Okay, just remember it doesn't do it for discussions. Okay, now another new tool, unless you're using intelligent agents, this really isn't going to help you. But if you go into course tools and course admin and manage dates. Now this is a great tool. If you're not using it and you have due dates in your courses and you roll them over from one semester to the next, this is a wonderful tool to use to update your dates in your course. Okay, it will give you a listing of all the items in your course, all the quizzes, all the assignments, everything, announcements, and it will show you if they have a start date, end date, or due date. Okay, now I usually go in and do specific, and I just choose assignments, discussions, and quizzes, and apply the filter, and it shows me. A second for it to load. Okay, did it go? Okay. All right, so I don't think I have any dates in here, but I can go in and I can go in and add a date to this. Let's say these all together. These are all mod 1. So I come up here and I can do a bulk edit, and that will let me set the due date, the start date, and the end dates. Okay. If you have dates on everything already, you can actually do a bulk offset dates. You can select all the dates, everything in the whole list, and tell it to bulk offset the dates. So this has been a tool that's been around since we went into Brightspace, but if you haven't used it, use it. It's a great tool. And I can go in and say, you know, all the due dates, the end dates, the start dates, and offset by a direction of range. Okay, so you can say forward, backwards. You can also calculate in between the dates. So my dates, I can go in and set where the dates are going to be, and it will try to update all the dates for you. Okay, but what's new is this intelligent agents. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to turn these off, and I'm going to do select intelligent agents and apply the filter. I don't think I have, there aren't any in this one. But if there were any intelligent agents, it would let me see the dates on those intelligent agents, and I would be able to fix them right here without having to go through and search for the intelligent agents. An intelligent agent would be something like you have content hidden until a student achieves a certain grade on a quiz. So you can double check your intelligent agent and check dates that it's running or how it's running, and make the change from here. So this is the new thing, but if you're not using intelligent agents, it's not real useful to you. Okay, so I'm going to come back in. Adding rubrics for a written response question. Okay, at this point, this is not available yet, but if you go through and you add a written response question in your quizzes, you now can add a rubric to the bottom of it. Okay, so to go in and grade that response can be much easier having the rubric. Okay, so you can check in a couple of days to see if that tool's available. So all you'd have to do is go into your quizzes and go to, you know, add a right response question, and you'll see the option to add a rubric. Okay, and I do have a link to show you how to do it as well. Okay, assigning evaluators. This is coming soon. If you have several people, like I know the nursing department merges all their classes and they have anywhere between 5 and 10 different instructors in the course. They could actually have assignments that were specific instructors would grade them only, and you can assign that. So that's coming soon. Okay, something that was, people didn't realize this, but when they, the display feedback for students, if you use the plus sign at the top here to give students feedback, like video feedback, if you use the plus sign and did video note up here, when the students went into the grade book, they would see the video note, okay? But if you use these tools at the bottom, it didn't show that they had any recording or audio or anything, a file, to let them know that you gave them feedback. They would have to navigate back to the assignment, open the assignment to see that there was feedback there. now they've made an update. So when students go to grades and they look at a grade, they're going to see a link to open up a video or a file or audio in here. Okay, so now it's safe to use these tools at the bottom. A lot of people didn't realize it until all of a sudden the students were saying, oh, I didn't see any feedback, because they were used to checking grades for feedback. Well, now when you use these tools at the bottom, they will see that feedback when they go to grades. Okay, let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I think this one has some feedback, so this is another good thing to know. If you want to see what a student sees from the grades, if you go to your grade book, if you go to the chevron next to it and hit preview, you'll be able to see exactly what the student sees. Okay, so at this point, you can see here's the feedback. Here's the feedback that I did as a video now. It's now something, it tells them, and they can click on it and they can open it. Like I said, they used to have to go back to the assignment to see this, but now it's all in the grade book now. Okay, and here's another one. So if I had done an upload a video, I would see that. Now the view grade, rubric was always there, and then the overall feedback was always there. But if you did use those tools at the bottom to record an audio feedback or anything, or add a file, it wasn't in here. It was, they actually had to go back to the assignment. So that's brand new. It's wonderful that you don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay, so at this point, I've gone through all the updates, and they are making updates every month. So, you know, keep an eye out. I'll try to send something out to everybody if something new pops up. And, you know, keep an eye out for this, adding rubrics to written response questions. Okay, so these are what's been updated since June, since you all left at the end of the semester, the spring semester. So have a great fall, or the start of whatever semester when you're watching this video.